And showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of the ChannelPro 5-Minute Roundup. We'll look at news, trends, and tips for the SMB channel in 5 minutes or thereabouts. My name is Rich Freeman. I am executive editor of the ChannelPro Network and one of your hosts on this program. I am joined this week and every week by my co-host Erick, who is a business transformation and improvement expert for MSPs and other IT service providers. Erick, how's it going?
It's going great here back at the home office, Rich. I had no travel this week, so I'm feeling a little bit energized, not road weary. How are you feeling?
Ever so slightly road weary and just a little bit wilted. So I am in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm attending the Cinex Inspire event out here. Very good show. They're experiencing the literally record-setting heat right now in Greenville. It's just about 100 degrees outside. I left for the airport in Seattle at something like 5:30 in the morning yesterday, and it was about 40 degrees. It was 95 when I got off the plane. So just a little bit warmer than I'm used to this time of year, but great show and good to be out here and good to be in this hotel room, hence the hotel room lighting you're enjoying right now.
Excellent. And I'm sure you're enjoying the climate control in the hotel room as well.
You better believe it. Absolutely. I've got that blasting right now. Well, you know, with this event and the travel and so on, I have not personally had a chance to write about this yet, which has been frustrating me all week long. But our top story concerns something out of Microsoft this week. Now, odds are pretty good. You think I'm going to be talking about all those Surface devices that Microsoft unveiled yesterday, which was certainly very big news, got a lot of media attention. But a couple of days before that, they announced that their Windows Virtual Desktop service is now generally available. Now, we've been talking about that service right here on the 5-Minute Roundup on and off again for the better part of the last year. It was about a year ago when Microsoft first introduced that service. And at that point, it was really just a concept. It was something that they were working on. In March of 2019, it went into public preview. Now it is generally available. And basically, it is a complete multi-tenant Windows 10 experience that you can stream 100% online. Significantly, for reasons we can come back to, it includes free security update rights for Windows 7 through January 2023. But basically, it is best thought of as the next new thing in cloud computing for Microsoft. The people who brought you Office 365 and expanded that out into Microsoft 365 now have a major new service that's going to be very appealing to a lot of customers for a number of different reasons, including the subscription pricing and all the advantages that come with the virtual desktop infrastructure market. Very compelling offer now that Microsoft can push out to its customers, really put some marketing muscle behind, and of course, bundle in with Office 365, put it into the Microsoft 365 package, and make it almost irresistible, I suspect, for a lot of SMBs as time goes along. So I have been saying for most of the last year, I think Windows Virtual Desktop is going to be huge. I think it is essentially the next Office 365. Clearly, it now is a key milestone in its evolution. It is a generally available product now. I think you're going to see Microsoft kind of pick up the volume on promotion of that product gradually over time, exactly as they did with Office 365. They waited a little bit for it to gain some momentum, to make sure that they could scale it and support it and deliver the right kind of service. And then eventually they really went all in behind it. I think you'll see that with WVD soon. But I would just basically say to anyone who is a Microsoft Cloud solution provider right now that at a minimum you need to be kicking the tires on this.
And I'm gonna predict, Rich, that this signals the beginning of the end for the physical Windows operating system on the desktop. I mean, I think that Microsoft is moving toward the cloud in every way possible. Azure, Office 365, now with virtualization services, virtualized servers. I think they see the tremendous revenue opportunity that all of our MSP partners do in monthly recurring revenue services. And I'm going to call it. I think that this is part of a large strategy that says our future is going to be in the cloud. And I think this is a way for Microsoft to really start accelerating in that direction. I said it. It had to be said.
Okay. It's been recorded for all posterity. And interesting. So I kind of alluded to this before. Windows 7 goes EOL in this coming January, and Microsoft has been offering paid security updates past that date to some of its partners. I'll come back to that in a minute because that changed this week too. But the ability to buy security updates past January 2020 has existed for a lot of companies in the past, but Microsoft has very cleverly built free updates for the next 3 years into the Windows Virtual Desktop offer as a way to sort of promote that virtual desktop as a migration strategy for the many, many customers out there still using Windows 7. And a perfect reflection of the fact that there are still a ton of customers out there on that desktop on-premises edition of Windows 7 is the fact that this week also from Microsoft, less noted, is that they have extended access to those paid security updates. It used to be you had to be running the Pro or the Enterprise Edition of Windows 7. You had to be buying that through volume licensing. Pretty much anyone can get that now. And it's the kind of thing that they wouldn't do, obviously, if they didn't feel like they really needed to, because there are still going to be a lot of Windows 7 boxes out there come the first part of next year.
Yes, I think that all ties in nicely into my prediction as they incentivize everyone to move toward virtualized instances. And you know, not for nothing, right? I mean, there are applications that just are not ready for Windows 10 yet that a lot of businesses and manufacturers rely on, and they need that outlet. But you know, very, I think, strategically giving those security updates for free as long as you move that over into our virtualized environment, as long as you're running Windows 10 on the host machine that you're getting to. I think it's pretty savvy, but it also lets us know that, yeah, Microsoft probably could have supported security updates for Windows 7 a little bit longer on the desktop. So there you go.
Well, our top story this week not only ties in with your prediction, it actually ties in with your tip of the week. Because we're talking about a new service here that you can bring to your customers and open a conversation with them about, and that has to do with your suggestion.
Yes, and so this week's tip of the week is maybe it might seem a little out of left field for some folks, but it's time to go back to every prospect that we've lost business from, that have gone with another competitor of ours, and go back to old clients that have left us. I mean, I used to use this strategy in my MSP practice, and year over year, I've had great success in identifying prospects that I reached out to that said, "Yep, we made a mistake going with that other company. We wish we would have gone with you," and they're just waiting for their agreement to expire. Right? Go back to those folks and find new opportunities and ask for referrals. I had lots of good success with those same prospects that felt like they did make a mistake, and then try to make it up to me by saying, but after I ask, you don't ask, don't get, would you have anyone else that could use our services? We'd love to have some referrals from you. And, they would give us referrals. Now, I'm not saying it happens every time, but it's just another way for you to uncover other opportunities to maybe pick up some revenue, re-engage with the prospect, or at least get a date and time when they might be ready to re-engage, or at least get some referral business out of it. So it's a strategy that, I don't know if a lot of partners think about, but, every strategy that can generate revenue and allow us to go back and pick up some money that maybe we weren't able to pick up and left on the table in the past is always a good thing in my book.
Probably the number one challenge that channel pros deal with is sales and marketing. And one of the biggest mistakes that we see channel pros make with respect to marketing is treating it as a sort of one and done kind of process. Marketing is a long-term process. That initial contact that you make with a sales prospect, you might have to touch that prospect 5, 6, 7, 8 more times before that actually turns into some business. And so, yeah, absolutely. If your initial contact with the prospect doesn't result in a deal, that doesn't mean you forget about this person. You actually really should be keeping in touch with them on an ongoing basis regularly. But now and again, really look, ask the question like you were saying, and really see if you can reopen that conversation, because it could take 6 months or 12 months, but it will pay off more often than you probably think it will.
Right. And sometimes I've had prospects that never re-engaged with us, but would give us leads. And I'm thinking, well, their existing provider must not be asking for them. So, it's one of those things that you got to remember. If you're out there marketing and setting appointments with these prospects, these are the types of prospects you want to do business with. So, to your point, Rich, why would you ever stop marketing to them? Why would you ever stop reaching out and touching them and looking for the next opportunity to get back in there and compete?
It's a great question. Now we have time for just one more story this week, and actually it's two stories that are closely related, and they sort of hit home for me. I consider myself a reasonably health conscious kind of guy. I get up early in the morning, I go to the gym, I work out, I watch what I eat. Two stories that came out in the last few days have me wondering if maybe I've been getting this whole thing wrong all along, and putting myself through a lot of nonsense for no reason. First of all, we learned that there's a study out there saying red meat, actually not that bad for you after all. There's really no reason to be avoiding red meat. Exercise, well, it's good for you physically speaking, but it can have effects on your decision-making ability and what you eat, and screw you up in a lot of other different ways. You know what, Eric, maybe I need to eat more steak and exercise less, and things will be better for me.
I think there's always an opinion out there. They're like elbows, right? Everybody's got one. So that I saw those reports, and they were very interesting. And now, the opposite side is coming out and saying, oh, no, that's not accurate. So, this whole health craze is probably one of the largest revenue generating movements in the history of mankind. Health, fitness, supplements, all this stuff. And it never ceases to amaze me, the next new, approach, keto diet, Impossible Burger, I don't know. I just try to do what I think is best. And I think we all, will live or die with those decisions. Right, Rich?
Well, exactly. And the only third certainty beyond death and taxes is that sooner or later, some study will come out telling you you've been getting it wrong. So just whatever, folks, just let it roll. That is all the time that we have this week on the 5-Minute Roundup. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to be back again next week with another episode for you. If you like the show, you want to take a look at some old episodes and get notified when new ones are available, the thing to do is look for the ChannelPro Network channel on YouTube. Subscribe to that and click the little bell if you want to get the notices when new episodes go out. We will keep you informed on everything happening with that show there. Want to read more about topics like Windows Virtual Desktop, other things going on in the news, get business growth strategies, you want to go to channelpronetwork.com on a daily basis. We've got great new content for you going up there every single day. To learn more about Erick and the work that he does with his clients, the place to go is ericksimpson.com. That is ERICK Simpson.com. Thank you again once more for joining us. We will see you in just a few days. Until then, please enjoy the rest of your week. Erick and I are enjoying the rest of your week already.